Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Better Call Saul. Last time on Better Call Saul, we had Hit and Run. Now let me see if I can remember everything. It's been a little while. Jimmy and Kim were still messing with Howard. They borrowed his car in order to make it look... Basically, Kim was having a lunch with Cliff Main. Jimmy took Howard's car, dressed as Howard, and picked up Wendy, the hooker from Breaking Bad, and drove near where, within sight of Cliff Main, tossed her out, and made it look all terrible for Howard. Then yeah, was there anything else? Kim was also approached by Mike, who was like, "Hey, Lalo's alive. Just so you know, I've got people here to protect you. He might not come for you, but just in case, you know." So there's that. Meanwhile, Gus is, he's got a lot of security and surveillance at his house and at Los Pollos because they are all waiting for Lalo Salamanca to return. So yeah. You may be able to hear it in my voice, or maybe not. I'm feeling a bit better, actually. But if you've been watching along this week in my videos, particularly my Prison Break and JoJo reactions, which is Season 5, Episode 6 of Prison Break, and Part 5, Episode 31 of JoJo, I got sick, of the COVID variety, specifically. But, yeah, so in those videos, I was way worse off than I am. But this is a couple days later, and I'm feeling much better. You can still hear it, and I'm still going to be coughing. I've got kind of a bit of the Walter White cough going on. And yeah, at some point, maybe my nose might run a little bit. So I've got toilet paper. This used to be a full roll before I went off on it, but yeah. So yeah, it might not affect this video too much, other than I might just cough every so often. So yeah, and I'm drinking water, but yeah. Luckily, it has not hit me as hard as it has hit a lot of other people in the world over the past couple of years. But yeah, I actually thought it's kind of funny that, of course, I would get COVID 2 years after everybody else got COVID, because that's how I watch shows on this channel, is I watch shows years after they started, Granted, this is a bad example because we're watching Better Call Saul, the final season, only a couple months after it aired, but still, I'm never up to date on stuff, with some exceptions, MHA, House of the Dragon and stuff, but yeah. So, anyway, but I'm feeling a lot better today. So, I'm excited to get back to Better Call Saul. I really didn't want to take another week off on this. You would think that COVID would mean that I would not be recording, but no. I gotta get back to Better Call Saul, man. It's been 2 weeks, so why don't we just go ahead and jump right into this episode of Better Call Saul. Here we go. Oh god. What's happening? Someone's singing in German. Put it in with the ruler. It would be at this point that I would ask, I'm still watching Better Call Saul, but let's be honest, this is a very Better Call Saul opening. Is this... Oh, it's just gonna cut. Okay. Well, it was in German, and it was it's like a balancing ruler, almost. Maybe? What's that about Werner? That was weird. Even for Better Call Saul, that was a weird opening. Yeah, now she can't sleep. She's worried. That might help. Jimmy's up.
Everything okay?
Can't sleep. Figured I'd get a jump on work.
And the chair?
The nuns back in Cicero would send me to hell for saying it, but thank God he's dead.
Yeah. It sure is a good thing. This is why Mike told Kim and not Jimmy. Jimmy would be freaking out.
Sorry, Mr. Frank.
Just dropped a couple platters. It's alright. Ugh. Man, when do you ever see Gus Fring nervous? This should show how much of a threat Lalo is compared to Walt.
It's one of the most important parts of any case because it's when both
Oh,
parties
the old
are able
folks.
to discover if
Yay, the old folks.
information that is relevant to the claims at issue. Now this brings us to another key term, relevance. If a document or a piece of evidence is relevant, that means it has a tendency to prove or disprove an
Howard,
element
you
in the
tweaking
case.
right now?
Bye now. Thank you. You take care.
Where's Mrs. Landry?
What's up? I threw a woman out of my car in the middle of the street. So there's the baggie at the country club.
Yes.
After that, some clients who you can't name because of privilege make insinuations. Then on Thursday, you have a business meeting and you witness a Jaguar speeding past.
Who did you have the business meeting with?
Who are you meeting with?
Oh,
Not sure why that's germane, but Kim Wexler. She came to me for career advice.
look at the gears turn in his head.
All right.
Oh.
Cliff, I know this wasn't easy for you. You came to me as a friend. I appreciate it.
You can
Good on
start
Howard
today,
for figuring it
I
out.
will. Because you're right. I do have a problem. Just not the problem you think. I have a Jimmy McGill problem.
Jimmy
You'll
McGill.
have to excuse me.
Howard.
Julie, cancel my week.
The week?
Yes, my whole week.
Jeez.
Howard.
Well, Howard's out for blood now. Wish that namaste just fell over. Granted, he'd be driving without a license plate, but still. Is that Francesca? Wait a minute. It is Francesca.
Where's Miss Wexler?
She's not a part of
My
this.
wife. That's right. Made an honest woman out of her. She's blazing her own trail, and I couldn't be prouder.
So it's just...
It's just him.
For now. But think of it this way. Half the work.
What happened to the old folks? Elder law.
Yeah, that's gone.
I get a say in the decorating.
Deal.
Open for business. One at a time. Thank you. I'll be right out.
Unfortunately, now we have to watch as Francesca gets more and more sour, let's say. Until she becomes the cynical Francesca we know in Breaking Bad.
You probably had to clean up Mesa Verde, everything that happened there. Kevin.
Ugh, Kevin.
This ain't fine dining, okay? Our business model is turning tables. So, Francesca, I'm here. Remind me again
Was
when I'm
this
making
the-
a house call.
Where are we in space and time? Did they say, like, boxing or something? Oh yeah, this is...
Hello, Jimmy.
Howard?
Mr. Ward, I presume. As in
Howard.
H.O. Ward. That is really cute, Howard.
I'm tired of this. Aren't you? It's exhausting. Let's punch it out.
Are you kidding?
Dead serious.
We're gonna have a boxing match.
Hoping you might get it out of your system. Do I think it'll work? I don't know. Call it a Hail Mary. I have the gear. I rented the ring. It's just you and me.
Okay.
To ref.
You want to
beat the shit out of me? Legally?
I think you could hold up your end. You must have gotten into a few good scrapes in the old neighborhood.
No.
Come on.
What is it? His
Come on, let's go. Come on.
what is it? His ego? Why is he doing it?
Need you to keep your mitts up, protect your face. Tap gloves.
Oh god, POV. POV, you're Howard Hamlin. Oh, he knows how to box, doesn't he? Okay, he's pretty damn fit, I must say.
Come on, take a swing. Oh!
Yeah, if you look at Jimmy, Jimmy's bouncy.
Right.
Oh, POV, you're Howard. Oh! That was an actual hit. Now it's a fight. Oh! You know, you don't see this coming in season 1. Oh! Well, that's a lot of seasons worth of anger.
You've mistaken my kindness for weakness. I'd like to think that tonight made a difference. I'd like to think that this ends it. Probably not.
I was gonna say, what if he goes for your nuts? Wow. Howard wins. Alright then. I was not expecting that.
I need to know everything he does. And everyone he talks to.
What?
You got it.
Okay, then.
We'll see you Friday.
Howard's got his own PI. He has his own version of Mike. Huh. What is he? Is he gonna try to discredit Jimmy? Well, if he gets him on Lalo, and if Lalo shows back up, oh man, if Howard gets entangled with Lalo, this is not a good thing that's happening. Why do you have that?
I got court first thing in the morning. I can't show up looking like Leon Spinks.
Why not? I'd say you'd be missing a bet. I'm Saul Goodman. Pow! I fight for you.
So now they're going to keep going, but Howard's going to get all of this.
Why'd I do that?
You had your reasons.
I did?
No.
Like what?
You and your pride and your ego. I'll put a GoPro on the garage door. God damn, these shows and their shots are amazing. Oh. Ugh. I'm too old to be in the back of a fucking car. Poor Mike. It's a great shot, though. You alright there, boss?
Part of the reason we set it up this way is so you can get some rest.
No news yet, I take it.
It's a waiting game.
This is how big of a threat Lalo is.
Now, sooner or later.
What's the fastest washing of hands I've ever seen? Oh, he's gonna stay in here? I mean, this is a pretty safe place.
Was darf sein?
Ein Martini, bitte.
Vodka or gin?
Give me whatever you like.
You're American.
Guess you could spot us a mile away.
Lalo!
Yeah, I'm here on business.
From California?
No, New Mexico. It's another state. I mean, it's like California, just less traffic.
Did Lalo go to Germany? Is that Werner's wife? Oh my god.
A town called Hemis.
Hemis. I almost visited there once.
Oh, it is. It's Werner's wife.
Oh, how do you say? Mineralium.
Minerals?
Oh,
Jesus
similar.
Christ, Marie, they're minerals.
Karlovy...
Vari. Not far from Prague.
Oh, Prague. Yes. There.
God damn it, Lalo's so charming.
Hello, I'm Margareta.
Oh, it's very nice to meet you, Margarete.
I know his work was dangerous, but never imagined such a thing. I suppose I tried not to.
That is terrible.
Damn, he fucking got her talking.
So your husband was a hero.
He would never accept that. My Werner was too humble.
Oh, man.
What were they building there?
Man,
My
Lalo's
husband
fucking working.
Didn't talk much about his work. Here we are, my little cave.
It's nice. So quiet.
Ugh. All the better to kill you in.
All quiet.
One dog, though.
Except for Bärchen.
Oh.
It means little bear. I'd like to invite you in.
Damn, fucking Lalo's so handsome and charming. Well, I gotta say, it's a beautiful place. Germany is lovely, Jesus. Far cry from the desert we're used to. Yep, and as soon as she leaves, Lalo goes back. Because he's looking for proof. He's gonna kill the dog. No, he's just gonna charm the dog, too. Lalo's so good, he didn't even kill the dog. And I know what I just said, but like most people, when you invade a house, you kill the dog. And he didn't even kill the dog. That's how good Lalo is. This is why Gus is nervous. Walt wouldn't have been that smooth. Oh, she's back. Well... Ah, shit. Yeah, now he's going to have to... Now he's gonna have to kill her. Oh, there's the thing. She may be able to, like, walk away from this. Lalo's a ninja, so if he hides... I just don't want her to die. Oh, why is that window open? Okay. Well, she didn't think anything of it, at least. It's just the window was open, that's all. But no, the ninja escaped. Jeez. Alrighty. That's episode 5? Was this 5? This was 5. Alrighty. Oh, man. Well, Lalo is back. You know, I wouldn't have thought of that. That's very clever, because that is honestly, that's the first, one of the first things Lalo does, is he starts learning about this whole thing with Werner, you know? Which, I mean, that's the interesting thing, is that it's only at the end of season 4 that Lalo is introduced, you know? And immediately after that, he starts causing problems with Werner. He starts, learning about Werner, and because of that, Werner dies, you know? Well, and other stuff that also happened, but, like, Lalo presented himself as so much of a threat within, like, 2 episodes, you know? And yeah, that's where he went. Lalo made it from Mexico to Germany. That's why he didn't go across the border. He didn't go across the border into America, because, yeah, he's wanted in America, but he was able to go from Mexico to Germany in order to find Margareta. So, that's interesting. That is not where I thought Lalo has been this whole time. But just again, can we just say how much of a threat Lalo really is, you know? Because Gus is, I mean, I don't want to say he's losing it, but it's clear that Gus is, he's nervous, you know? Gus is nervous about this. Oh, God, excuse me. But yeah, Gus is definitely nervous about this, which is interesting. And it's something we just don't see in Breaking Bad, you know? We've never seen Gus so nervous about someone. Like, it just shows you that even though, yes, Walter did win in season 4, I mean, it's only because he took advantage of that, of the blind spot of using Hector Salamanca, you know? Because otherwise, there is just no way Walt could have won, you know? Whereas Lalo, I mean, I don't think, like, I don't want to say makes him scared, but he's on the edge of his seat, you know? Seeing him, kind of looking around in Los Pollos, the fact that he's trying to distract himself, he's cleaning his neighbor's, like, bathroom and everything by hand. It's like he is nervous, you know? And that's how much of a threat Lalo Salamanca is, you know? Oh, excuse me. Oh, but yeah. And now we know Lalo's looking for the proof, and the proof is Werner. The thing that slipped up. And that does work because they technically slightly know about it, you know? If he exposes, like, hey, this is what Gus is actually doing, this was what Ziegler was actually constructing for him, then that would work. Now, of course, we know that doesn't happen, you know? We know that doesn't happen because he does keep the lab a secret and then recruits Heisenberg and then takes down the entire cartel. Oy. Talking for long periods of time is very difficult now. Oy. But that's what Lalo is going for. So it's an interesting thing that it's like, we're waiting for what Lalo will do, but at the same time, we're also waiting for, I guess we have to wait for Lalo to fail somehow, you know? Even though we know Lalo has to fail this, he has to fail this to the point that he's not in Breaking Bad, and none of this stuff that he's trying to reveal about Gus is ever revealed, you know? I don't know, it's just so gripping, you know? It's so interesting. So, I mean, that's just the sign of a good story right there. That even though we know Lalo has to fail, we have to see how he gets to that point, you know? I was fine during most of the episode, but now that I'm, talking a lot more, I'm losing it. Alright, I love Cliff confronting Howard. Cliff confronting Howard was really good. And yeah, when you see the car, it's his Jag, it's his Namaste plate. You know, it like any rational person will be like, well, that's Howard. But I love that as soon as he hears that, it's like, okay, so it's the, you know, it's the baggie at the country club and the clients that you can't tell me about because of privilege, and then you have this thing, and it's like, I love that Howard figures that out, you know? I love that he figures it out, where it's like, you know, like, well, who are you having lunch with? And Cliff's like, well, I don't see how that's, you know, part of the conversation, but it was Kim Wexler. And as soon as he hears Kim, it's like, okay, this is Jimmy. I know this is Jimmy, you know? Because, I mean, yeah, Howard knows something is wrong because obviously it wasn't him, you know? Obviously it wasn't him. So he knows, you know, who would go to the lengths of making it look like he threw a hooker out of his car. The only person who would do that, you know, in Albuquerque is Jimmy McGill, you know? So, yeah. And then, that's an interesting thing, though, that he challenged Jimmy to a boxing match, and Jimmy, with his pride and his ego, I don't know, that's like the worst impression of Mike, you know? You and your pride and your ego. It's almost turning into like a Cockney, you and your pride and your ego, you little shit. That's not Mike. Maybe it's just because I can't do it because I'm all stuffed up and stuff. Oy. I was not really stuffed up before I started recording, but I guess that's what recording does to me. Excuse me. Anyway. But Howard challenges Jimmy to a boxing match, and sure enough, they have a boxing match, and Howard wins. I want to believe that Howard has just been boxing in his spare time, you know? Like, oh, you know, where does he... You know, he found this boxing ring and stuff like that. It's like, I think this is just something that he does. So he was like, well, I know how I can beat Jimmy at something. And I like how Jimmy says, like, you wouldn't beat the shit out of me legally, you know? And he does. So. And I like that Howard does acknowledge, like, I want to think that this ends here. But it probably won't, you know? Like, I'm glad that Howard... And then to follow that up with the PI, you know? To follow that up with the PI is very clever, too. That, yeah, if Jimmy is building this whole thing to discredit Howard to end the Sandpiper case, then Howard is now going to go against him. Howard... You know what? Howard's doing what Lalo is doing. Howard's going to get the proof, you know? Howard's going to get the proof that to go against Jimmy. In the same way that Lalo is getting the proof to go against Gus. Wow. Wow, you know, we've talked about this whole series, we've talked about how our two storylines kind of mirror each other. They rhyme, you know? They sort of reflect on each other. And that's exactly what's still happening. Is that now, it's Jimmy and Gus, you know, who are the ones that are, you know, who are doing this thing against something else. And now, the person they're doing that against, Lalo and Howard, now have to find the proof to take them down, you know? That's really funny, honestly, that there is a parallel between Lalo Salamanca and Howard Hamlin. That's just really funny to think about, you know? Oh, man. Man, I bet Patrick Fabian really enjoyed this season. Because, like, look, Howard's been great this whole show. But I will say, especially, like, last season, it's like, Howard didn't have a lot to do. You know, without Chuck, there was a lot less to do with Howard, you know? So I'm glad they really just have brought him back into the fray. And they've made him, he's kind of the main plot line right now, is messing with Howard. But now to have that parallel with Lalo is hilarious, you know? Anyway, so yeah, but he's got a PI. He's got a PI watching Jimmy now, so that's crazy. We also got the return of Francesca in this episode, which was good. Still not quite as miserable as the Francesca we know in Breaking Bad, but give it some time, she'll get there. I mean, she's already working in a very terrible place, you know? So... But yeah, but hey, they're at least in the office. He has Francesca back. Just gotta clean it up a bit, you know? And yeah, Lalo's getting the proof. Lalo's getting the proof he needs in Germany, which is crazy. And man, Lalo's so friggin' charming, you know? Lalo is so friggin' charming that in the span of, you know, one evening, he completely charmed Margareta and, you know, got back to her house, you know? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy, but I love it. And yeah, friggin' Lalo the ninja just got out of there. And luckily he didn't kill the dog. He did not kill the dog, he did not kill her. That's how good Lalo is. You know? Like, Walt would not have been this good. And I know there is such a difference between Walt and Lalo that it might seem strange for me to compare them, but as threats to Gus Fring, it's night and day, you know? Where, yes, I mean, it's such an interesting thing that Lalo is such a threat, but we know he can't beat Gus, you know? Because he doesn't. Whereas Walt was such not a threat, yet he did win, you know? Such an interesting thing, you know? Such an interesting thing. But yeah, so great stuff. Very, very great stuff, and I'm excited to see where we are going next time. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Better Call Saul reactions, as well as another playlist for all of my Breaking Bad reactions if you want to go check those out. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.